So let me ask you a question.
What?
So how do you feel being here with my Filipino family? Do you really feel that you are marrying the entire family in a bad way, or
Not,
what?
no, not your family, because your family, they all work,
Exactly.
right? They have to.
So in short, my
Or would
family is not a financial burden to you.
No.
Correct? Yeah, that's good.
No, they're not. You're the financial burden. For sure.
Okay. Light,
So-
camera, action.
So, hi guys. We're doing a video today here because Rose is forcing me to, right? Like you do everything. What's the subject this about again? Oh! If you marry a Filipino or are in a serious relationship with a Filipino, do you marry and date their entire family, as it were?
Yeah.
And let me see, from my experience and from what I've seen and heard, it is kind of a big problem over here, because I don't know, in the culture they kind of expect, isn't it like the eldest daughter is kind of responsible for taking care of the parents?
No, all of the children
All
are
the children. It seems like
responsible.
it's usually the eldest daughter or the daughters that they seem to. But in any event, yeah, that can be a problem, because it's one of those things. Once you start taking care of her family and giving them money, they're going to expect that all the time. So just beware. When you start, and most guys, they go, oh, well, it's no big deal. $100 a month isn't that big of money, kind of thing. And they do it because they want to impress their Filipina. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's no big deal. Yeah, I'll help take care of your family.
Yeah.
But once you start that, generally it only gets worse, right? Because it's like, well, yeah, they like that, but then all of a sudden they have this problem, they have that problem, they have this problem,
Yeah.
they have that problem. And they need their motorcycle fixed.
In short, they become dependent that anytime they have
Yeah.
trouble, they can come and,
Right, and
ask.
because what the heck, their daughter is with a foreigner, and all foreigners are rich, right?
Yeah.
That type thing. And in relation to Filipinos, we are, kind of a thing. But
Mhm.
but still, that will, next thing you know, $100 turns into where you're doing $500 a month type of thing.
Yeah.
And with family, it's not only the parents and brothers and sisters, but every Filipina has like 30 cousins, right?
Yeah.
Cousins, nephews, you name it, right? And they all, try to get money from you.
Mm.
And so my suggestion is, don't ever start that if you don't want to continue it. Or if you do start it, you say that this is the maximum amount of money, per month. Basically give it to the Filipina and let her decide what she wants, like give her the allowance and let her decide how much she wants to spend on the family. If she decides to spend her allowance on the family, she decides to do that. And don't be giving her more money. It's the same thing. It's just giving more money to the family.
Well, guess what? I have
What?
I have your bank account, so I can just withdraw from there.
You have a bank account, but you don't know how to use
I
it.
know.
Actually, I've got my money in your bank account, so I have to
anyway.
have her get the money up.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that can be a problem, and just beware of that and be conscious. Don't be flashing around money trying to impress your Filipino, because you're just going to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Actually, they don't really respect the fact that a guy is trying to use money to get to them.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, you're weak. You don't know how to manage money and this and that. And trust me, another thing that I'm not degrading them, but Filipinos do not know how to manage money.
No.
They're everything they do is like hand to mouth, and they get money in this hand, and it either goes for food or they spend it on something else. They don't do savings. That's not something they do here.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And you're not necessarily doing them a favor by giving them money. you have to bear in mind that before you were in the picture, they figured out a way to survive and get what they need, correct?
Yeah.
Type of thing. And so it's just it's human nature. It's all of a sudden if they can get easy money or free money, it's like, oh, well, of course, who's not going to take that?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, you do that, and then people start expecting it, all the time, and then once it reaches expectation, it becomes very difficult to cut it off, because
Yeah.
when you cut it off, you're going to get resentment. It's like,
Which-
why are you cutting off that money?
Yeah,
You
which-
cheapskate. You cheapskate.
Which I think
Greedy.
which I think the very most common problem with foreigners nowadays, because once they decide to, oh my goodness, I spent a lot in your family, and then it's time to stop it, but guess what?
Difficult to do.
It's difficult to do, because I mean it's
There's-
doable. It's not something it's
Right,
not doable,
right.
but some of them will have a resentment or
Yeah.
a rebellious emotion, like why you stop
Right.
now, and they will not, all of a sudden they will not like you anymore,
Well,
they will not be friendly anymore,
Well, from what I've seen, it's the people that are more distant relatives, like cousins and stuff like
Yeah,
that, right? If you
uh-huh.
help them out once, and then next time they're in trouble, they
Yeah.
come and they want money, and if you don't give it to them, it's like, oh, and they don't talk to you anymore, and this and that, and all of a sudden they're bad mouthing you all over the place,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So,
So-
definitely stay away from extended family.
Yeah.
The only ones I would help out would be the parents. The siblings and
true.
stuff like that. Yeah, that's their problem. Like I say,
That's not true. You give some to brother Noel and brother Chris.
yeah, to
You give some to my
yeah,
sister.
when he needed to, he was buying a used motorcycle, 'cause
Yeah.
his motorcycle was going to
So
shit.
Hanipa is spending money on my family, guys, but that was like a voluntary thing.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
not an expected thing, right?
Plus, you don't do it every day.
No.
So
They come and like with your brother, right, when he was expanding your mom's house,
Yeah.
because her brother lives up with her mom.
yeah,
Her brother and his wife live up with mom.
Yeah.
Well, so anyways, he expanded the house. He had
How much did
come
you give?
across. I ended up giving him, I think, and I went up and I was looking at what he was doing and this and that, and he was X amount along, and it's like, well, you need the roof and stuff on here, right? the tin, right? Because he had done all the walls and stuff like that,
yeah,
but he needed like the tin for the roof, and it's
yeah.
like, well, okay, I'll give you. I says, how much do you need to
Have the roof.
finish have the roof on there? And he said 15,000 pesos, which is like
$300.
Well,
$220.
around there, about
Yeah.
270 or something like that. And so I gave him that money so he could complete that,
Yeah.
and then to finish it off completely, I gave him another 15,000 pesos. So $600 total.
Yeah.
But
But they were not
that was
expecting-
once I've been here for over 3 years.
Yeah, 3.5.
So that's
money.
not very much money per month if you were to
Yeah.
break it down that way. And guess what? Her brother, he always, anything I need or need help with, if all I got to do is ask, and boom, he'll drop what he's doing and go and do it for me
Yeah.
right away. And I like to smoke meats and stuff like that, and I use coconut charcoal.
Coconut
for that.
charcoal.
Well, if I'm out of coconut charcoal and I say, no, will you make me some more charcoal, please? And boom, he drops it, and he goes and he makes
Yeah.
me the charcoal, and I have a big bag of it the next day.
Yeah, and then
Kind of a thing.
he doesn't want you to pay him, but you insisted on paying him.
I pay him
Yeah,
anyways,
give
yeah.
him some.
Type thing. He
Yeah.
doesn't charge him. It doesn't cost that much.
So, yeah, I think anyway that every foreigner that are with a Filipina, it's a very common thing that they really help out the family, Filipino wife family. But like
to
you said,
a
don't do
degree.
it. Yeah, don't do it like a support. Maybe every once in a while.
And when
so-
they like, the next common thing is like medical issues.
May pilay, guys.
Right?
Yeah,
That
medical.
they're sick or this or that. that's a slippery slope there because it's like your one cousin, right?
Yeah.
What's her name? She had cancer and was having treatment for cancer. Well, I helped her out once, type of thing.
It's not once. We
A
sent
couple
him,
times.
yeah, but
Couple
it's like a
times.
total of $1,000, I think.
Yeah.
$1,000.
And the unfortunate part is it's non-stop, right? Because obviously
Yeah.
the cancer they're not curing it, and they want to keep spending and spending and spending on it. I understand that, but
She's actually doing fine now.
is she doing good
She
now?
stopped, according to the doctor, she needs to go back for another chemo and she didn't take it.
Yeah.
So she's living in the province now and
Well, that's
she's just,
that's what I told her. I said,
oh,
stop that chemo. It's killing you.
she's just taking kuan now, like
Ivermectin.
herbal.
I told
Yeah,
her. I told her to take
She also take
ivermectin.
ivermectin.
Yeah.
And
so-
she's taking it, guys, and according to her, she's ready to face
Look at
whatever.
my jaw.
Because she admits that the chemo, guys, is really, it's very hard.
It kills you.
Oo.
It doesn't really help you.
And so far as a person with breast cancer, she's actually pretty much doing well because
That's good.
she's not skinny and she's not sad, she's not complaining all the time, it's like she's okay, and
That's
she's
good.
just accepted the fact that she's not gonna spend a lot of money anymore or asking money from family.
Right.
And because out of her family, guys,
By the way, cheers, guys.
we're the only family that really helps her. But well, Honey Pie's money, and then I made a solicitation for her with my friends over here, and I collected like $300.
Did you?
Yeah, and I sent it to her. So she's doing well, and she said no more chemo for her, and
Right.
then she's just like take it as it is and accept if it's his time. It's
But
her time.
I would definitely be careful, guys, if you go on to that slippery slope of doing the medical stuff, because
Yeah.
it's just like you're gonna need me if something happens to you here, right, an accident
Yeah.
or whatever. You have to pay cash up front for the hospital. Well, if you spent all your extra cash helping out other people with their medical problems when you need it, they aren't going to give it back to you because they don't have it.
No.
Kind of a thing. So there you are. You're sitting in. You can't have any treatment because you can't afford it.
Yeah.
And so they'll you might be able to afford a toe tag or something, but outside of that, they're not.
Yeah.
So be very careful on the medical assistance with people,
Yeah.
especially
Especially the long
if
term.
it's a long term type of thing.
Yeah.
I know that sounds kind of heartless, but it's just the reality of life. You can't take care of everybody. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So
So-
anyway, what are you doing today here? What's all this stuff here?
I tried to.
She's up to no good, I can tell you that.
I tried to spend some of our money, guys, again.
Yeah, she's good at that. For sure.
So, well, if you're not willing to embrace this kind of culture and hobby or vice of your Filipina, guys, don't ever waste your time getting a Filipina, because this will always be a thing. But it's not every day. So anyway, like I always do.
What she's saying is I have to get rid of a Filipino.
Yeah, I always pull a surprise on my honeymoon, Honey Pie's birthday. So I'm going to pull a surprise birthday to our sister-in-law, which is my brother Noel, his favorite brother-in-law, brother Noel's wife, because she's having a birthday. And
That's sister-in-law.
both of them doesn't have money because they are currently expanding the house or renovating the house.
Right.
So my brother approaches me. Actually, brother Noel messaged me she wanted to borrow like few bucks to cook a pancit.
No.
And he told me that it's his wife's birthday. I said, okay, don't worry about it, I'll do it. And then when I shared it to my sister, she voluntarily sent me like $65 for the cake.
You're talking about your sister in Australia?
Yeah, for the cake. So we chip in, my sister and me. And then
Right.
brother Chris will provide the rice and the other food crops. So I have all the stuff ready to
So,
give her a surprise. So I'm cooking it here
anyways,
so that
let's
she will not
check
Let's
this out here.
investigate.
Hey. Ooh. Look, this is all the stuff she bought here. Hey, what's that? What's this? The ground beef that I just made?
Yes.
Ground beef. You got 2 packages of it here.
Yeah. I have a 2 packs
Goodness.
I have the 2 packs of spaghetti too.
I'll tell you what, guys. You know, ground beef. We only have so much beef, right? It's a lot of work making this, and I love beef over pork and stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, she's taking. That's enough to drive a guy to drinking. You know, she takes everything of mine all the time. I tell you. So.
And pancit, the ultimate pancit.
Mhm.
And chicken. I will just make like 4 dishes. Spaghetti, the
What's in
pancit.
here?
I have a chicken liver and a chicken
Mm.
for a pancit, and then I think I will make the ribs as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, then that's enough for our dinner. Just the family, guys. So that's it.
So, yeah, you know, you're to sum it up, yeah, you're gonna have more than likely have that issue to deal with as far as you know, taking care of your Filipinos family. It's gonna come up in some form or another.
Yeah.
So you just have to decide what you want to do, what you can afford, what you're willing to afford. Don't start giving them more than you're ever planning on
Spending.
on spending,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're leading yourself to trouble. It's not if, it's when
Yeah. Okay.
thing, and they're not, you know, looking for, you know, this or
Yeah.
that. And I help them out a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
The way I do it is like, let's say when I went to Thailand,
Yeah.
right? Your brother gave me a ride on the motorcycle down to the van place
Yeah.
to go to Tacloban.
Yeah.
And so normally that costs like $200 for the ride, or not $200, but 200 pesos for the ride.
Mm.
And so I think I gave him like 1,000 pesos for the ride.
Yeah.
That was back when he was in having that confrontation on the land up there,
Okay.
type thing. So I figured, okay, I'll give him a little
Yeah.
extra money, you know, kind of a thing.
So in short,
I do it that way.
okay.
They do something for me, and I'll give them more money than I, you know.
You shut up your mouth now. That's enough. I see, guys.
Shut
It always
my
turns
mouth.
to me.
That's it.
I regretted to ask
Like
that
I
question,
say,
guys.
it's enough to drive a guy to drink, and it's time for another red horse.
So anyway, guys, I'm not gonna show you the process of cooking, because that's gonna be another part of a video. But that's what I'm gonna cook today: spaghetti, pancit, chicken, and
Look at the name of this, Filipino
rice.
Buster.
Yeah, rice and sweet potato crab, and then we will see if I can pull up the surprise very successfully, because she didn't know anything about it. I love Jessa, guys. Jessa, you probably saw her in some of our videos, especially when I'm in the city delivering Alexander. You know, she's very helpful in so many ways. Even after I got home, Alexander and she's always, and she helps the pig with, you know, my brother Noel. She's my brother Noel's wife, and she deserves something special on her birthday. So I planned the surprise, and then my sister Jazz, shout out Sister Jazz, thank you for the money. I was able to buy some of the food because I already got the spaghetti, but I bought some from her money, and we bought some cake as well. My sister Marivic, though, is a good baker of cake. She's always the one that make cake for every occasion here. But
Is she making the cake?
no, it's very late, Han. Plus, she's busy with the association.
Oh yeah.
So and I didn't know that it's Jessa's birthday actually. So this is really like how do I say? Also a surprise for me, and a very, what do we call it? A rush thing. So
Yeah.
no, but it's just a simple simple dinner, yeah. And
Yeah.
just the family, the immediate family also. So
All right.
that might
It'll be nice.
that might be, we will put that in a separate video. So thank you, Honey Pie, for the ambush ambush video.
Yeah,
Because
so,
we have been guys, we have been asked by some of our, you know, YouTube family and some of the foreigners of their
look, guys, I got this fancy new tripod.
We tried it on our live yesterday, right?
Yeah, I know. That actually has facial recognition and it will follow you.
Yeah.
So now I can do some better videos
Yeah.
up in the shop and stuff. So,
You don't need me anymore.
Well,
We'll see how
you're
long.
not available all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I tried it out. It works pretty good. And this extends up.
How much is that, Han?
This was like $22. It was 1,200 pesos.
Oh, yeah?
Hi. There's nabulan sila din.
Ha?
Din.
Paghaysa ka.
Hi. Nang there's sila din. Magtulog ko na.
Molly.
Ayaw, kay maghimo tag magbaburot ta. So,
So
say
anyway,
cheers.
Cheers. And bear in mind what I was telling you earlier.
Yeah.
Once you start, it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it is going to be an issue that virtually every foreigner is going to have to deal with.
Which is very
in
common.
some format or another.
So, yeah.
Mm.
So, anyway, I hope you will enjoy this one, and I hope we've given something out of his experience, not just like a hearsay or something, because he experienced it. He's the one that's been here with us, you know, and my immediate family is just around us. So, this video might help with some that who
Yeah.
have not experienced it personally,
Right.
you know, and have been in a long distance relationship and have been
Yeah.
supporting or sending, you know, this might be a
Just as a general overall
Yeah.
rule,
yeah
you know, if you have money, do not try to flatter your Filipino with money. You're making a huge mistake. You just don't know it, you know, kind of a thing. Well, because you know, once you start, actually, Filipinos do not respect the fact that you're throwing around money
Yeah.
at them. You know, basically, by you doing that, you're kind of making them feel like a prostitute. Oh, you're just paying me for sex or
Yeah.
affection or whatever.
yeah
And they don't like that. Of course they like the money, right? But once you start, you know, giving them all kinds of money, they're like any other woman. They're gonna
Yeah.
want. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, wait a minute, how come you don't give me any money anymore?
and they will not
What's the-
they will not work hard anymore and contribute to
Right.
basically in the name of the law, the man's job is to provide for the family, but
Right.
it's you know it's a humanly rule and a godly rule. So but most of the most of the Filipinas now are responsible. It's not very common or many that they're just depending upon the income of their husbands. They are actually, I see it from Filipino family too. They've been helping
not when
together.
you're dealing with when Filipinos get hooked up with foreigners. They're more and more the Filipinos are figuring out, aha, yeah, that's a meal ticket, you know, for them. Unfortunately, that's just the truth, you know, kind of a thing.
I
Yeah,
don't-
but that's women in general. I don't
Yeah.
care what country where, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Women like money, you know, kind of thing, because they're nesters, right? They want to take care of their kids or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so the more you give them, the more they're going to expect.
Yeah.
And so just don't go down that path.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been 25 minutes now.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
Well, all right, like I say, my notorious cheers, guys. Welcome to the Philippines. I love the Philippines, by the way. I really do.
Bye bye. God bless you
Bye.
all, and thank you always for the support, guys.